I am starting to play a Shining Force 3 Scenario 1.
Welcome to our Shining Force 3 Scenario 2 playthrough. Welcome to Shining Force 3 Scenario 3. Hi, and welcome back to the end of Shining Force 3. We've just beaten Bolzum. We've watched a lot of the closing comments, the interactions between our characters. We know that Julian is about to head north. We know that the rest of the force is about to return home. I think if we talk to this priest up here, we will head out with the lovely Jane, who is sitting in the back there, and make our leave. But what this game has done is it has given us the opportunity. This door is shut. This is the door to the grinding area. It has given us the opportunity to explore the world after we have beaten Bolzum. Much like Shining Force 2, we get to see the world now that we have saved it. How do you feel about my accomplishments, old man? Your friends have all boarded the battleship and are returning to their homeland. Why did you stay behind? I see. You've taken a liking to Remotest and want to settle here? So, where we want to visit, I really want to visit the Bolzum Temple that called us heretics and said that we needed to be banished. But let's talk to all these Bolzum followers. Bolzum has been defeated. It's probably okay to take this mask off, huh? It's okay, it's always been okay, but you can keep it on if you want to. What? I tried to remove my mask, but I've been wearing it for so long that it's stuck to my skin and won't come off. Oh, that's a level of creepy that I've never really thought about before. We should think about moving past Bolzum and start trying to get along with the Ebelsum Ward. If we continue to live in the past, we'll never be able to move to a warmer region. I mean, you don't need to move to a warmer region, but you don't need to live in the past. Maybe I should have spent some more time talking to these townsfolk before. We may be followers of the Bolzum sect. We're not on bad terms to people of Ebelsum Ward or anything. Yeah, they're just followers. You're Julian, the leader of the Shining Force, right? If you come to my house to play, it would be an honor. Oh, to play what? Sure. We're here to honor you people. You made a mistake, but you're here to oversee your mistake. Is this the church? I don't think this can be the church. No, this is the merchant. I think we went the wrong way. I don't think we've went to the church at all. Oh, that might be the church back there. The 4 high priests, the dark priest, and even Bolzum himself, you defeated all of them? We did defeat all of them. It does seem like there's just going to be a lot of disbelief in the village. Oh, what's this little kid? Grandpa, you're getting too worked up about Lord Bolzum's defeat. Of course your blood pressure is going to rise. You need to relax. Mama and Papa are really weak among the Bolzum priests. They wouldn't be any help in battle, so they came home before the battle began. Aw, are you okay? It's so deplorable. Lord Bolzum was defeated before he could descend the mountain, and the way he looked. Ah, my blood pressure. Oh, this guy's a true believer. Well, he's not a true believer, because a true believer probably still would have went after Julian there. We were summoned to help with the final battle against the Innovator's army by doing things like preparing meals. We're safe because we were sent home before the battle. Oh wow, these are like the camp people. The Bolzum monk's son and daughter watched the battle. I think they're going to close down the family business. On the way home along the road down to the hill from the Bolzum Temple, I was surprised by how fierce the battle was. You were seriously strong. These guys don't seem to harbor much ill will for us. It seems to be a pretty okay situation. Alright, we're going to head back to the west exit. We're going to explore a little bit. I really want to check out that shop. This has been a long journey on our Shining Force road, and we're about to come to the end of Shining Force 3. The last Shining Force game truly ever made. I know there's the remake of the GBA 1 game, or Shining Force 1 on the GBA, but I don't think that counts. This is truly it. This is the end of the road, the end of the era. Before the battle, I talked big against the legendary expedition. Please forgive me. You must be angry with me. You are, aren't you? No, we can forgive and forget. The threat has been taken care of. You three of Jumsy are truly strong. I was surprised. I love strong people. Julian is the greatest. You should put more critical thought into your beliefs. That man is making a scary face. Maybe he wants to kill me. No, anything but that. How's the church doing? Just because Bolzum was defeated doesn't mean we can take our masks off. I wonder if anyone will be the first to take theirs off. You can keep your masks on. Like, I don't know the depths of your religion, but hello, you called me a heretic. So long as the Bolzum Temple stand, we will live on forever. Never forget this. Oh, these are the true fundamentalists here. The priests are still confident, but the High Priest and Bolzum himself have been defeated. Their vision is becoming less and less believable. The boy from the other ward you thought pranks to said, what the heck? The boy from the other ward you thought pranks to said he wanted to play tricks on people again. But there's no need to recruit him for the Bolzum sect. Stop influencing him. I'm not even sure what you're talking about. Even if Bolzum disappears from this world, a replacement will appear. The priests of the temple have predicted this. It's true. You are the legendary expedition. You are only recognizing that you took Lord Bolzum down, but the innovator's power has also been lost. This is true, and this might have been Golem's master plan all along, to get Gracia to sacrifice his power, and then no one can truly defeat him in the end. But we'll learn about that in more in Shining Force 4. I think it's about time to make our faithful final walk. Our walk to the end of Shining Force 3 and the Shining Force games in general. Jane wants to go to Sorrow so she can heal her mental wounds she suffered in this battle. When Jane's mother was taken away, she was sent to Sorrow and spent her last days there. Okay. I know Jane wants to go to Sorrow. I would also like to go to Sorrow. Can I go to Sorrow? I see. Jane and the mercenary. It now seems as if Jane, who has been so unhappy, will finally find happiness. How do I leave? The sacred stones of legend actually exist. I think one of the few remaining stones was the crystal of Arlo Village. Jane wants to go to Sorrow. Yeah, that's cool. I would also like to go to Sorrow. Why can't I get through here? What is... Oh, can I just go up this way? Oh. Hi, Jane. Julian, you really stayed? I thought you were only trying to comfort me when you said you'd go to Sorrow with me. The journey will be hard. Are you ready to go? Well, my friends, are we ready to go to the end of Shining Force? It's been a bittersweet journey. To know that this hill is... I see your preparations are complete, and you're ready for your journey with Jane. Sorrow is north of the mountain range. It's where the Bolzum sect trains monks. The environment is really tough up there. But perhaps I should not worry. After receiving Bolzum's teaching, most of those who had developed their powers came to Bolzum Temple. There should not be anyone there who would pose a threat to you. No one should pose a threat to me. Jane has lost everything. Jane has lost everyone close to her. To heal her heart, it will be good for her to take a trip where her mother rests. This is where I'll see you off. I pray your trip is a smooth one. Thank you, Keeper. Ebblesome speed, Julian. I will be waiting with all my heart for the day Jane's heart is healed, and you return to this city. Julian, after this journey with you, I'm sure I will be reborn. It's time to take our long walk. off into the sunset. Are we gonna see our couple walking north? Nope. We are seeing our credits. Alright. Short, long, Shining Force 3 thoughts. My god. They really shot for the moon with this one, didn't they? That's about all I can say. To release 3 games. 3 full-length games. All part of a long series in 1997 and 1998. That's truly ambitious. And it's truly ambitious to do it in a series that's... It's a big series, but it's not a huge series. It's not a series where you can sort of guarantee that success. And I know nothing of the financial success or failure. I do not know the reason why there is no Shining Force 4. But I have always blamed the ambitious attempt at making this game. To make 3 scenarios. You know, people are only going to buy your scenario 3 if they've played scenario 1 and enjoyed it, played scenario 2 and enjoyed it, and then played scenario 3 and enjoyed it. So I feel like they're already starting with a subset of Shining Force players, and you're whittling that down and whittling that down, and to the point where there's just not that big of an audience for the end of the game. So I feel like that's possibly the biggest failing this game has. And maybe even the biggest failing of the franchise. But you know what? Fail big. You know, if this was... If Shining Force 3 was just one singular game, and it was just Scenario 1, I'm probably... Would I say I'm probably disappointed? I would say I'm probably underwhelmed. But the fact that there's just so much meat here, from a story, from an I'm trying to do all this perspective, you just kind of have to tip your cap to them. And some of the gameplay things that they did, like it's a weird thing to start with, to go, hey, I'm talking about this and I'm going to go on a negative, but there's a lot of positive here as well. The weapon triangle they implemented, there's a lot of enhancements, there's friendship enhancements, and just there's a lot of improvements to the battles themselves. Like there's the Save the Refugees, there's, you go in between caverns in a lot of these battles, there's multi-boss battles. There are no multi-boss battles in any of the Shining Force games, the mainline ones, until this point. Even that's a change. There's just so many improvements. I almost feel like the way they've laid out the maps, like, there's a lot more terrain and a lot more choke points on a lot of these maps, which really pushes the need to have archers in your party. Like, archers have been improved, but it's also, there's been a lot of work improving the battle maps so that you want to use archers. And that goes a long way to making the game more balanced. There probably are a bit of balancing mistakes. I think healing, for as good as it is that they buffed healing, I don't know if Heal 4 I ever used a Heal 4 or I ever felt like I needed to. There's Median, and the start of his chapter. Aura is decisively overpowered. It almost felt like they ran out of ideas maybe in the final encounter. Even the final 3 battles where you're controlling the force felt a little underwhelming compared to the final battles of Scenario 1 and Scenario 2, where the 2 battles kind of worked in conjunction, where you had no, I guess that's not true, because if you go through the enemies slowly, it does affect the scenario, the Julian battle. So I think the thought I have in my head isn't fully fleshed out, and I think it might be wrong. One of the other improvements they really did is there are no wasted characters in these games. I mean, one could make the argument that Penko, Pen, and Pendolph, who we really didn't see, are wasted characters, but it's okay to have joke characters in a game. But everyone else is completely usable. Harold, usable. There's no... I mean, I was gonna say there's no Guyan, but Horst exists. But it feels like there's no bad choices for your party. And while I would say playing Scenario 1 that I'm disappointed in the graphics, one, it's a game of 1997. Your graphics are not going to be great. You know, people talk about FF7's graphics as a touch point. Go back and play FF7. The graphics are bad. I could make a whole rant about the move to 3D when the technology was not there to really support 3D games. There's a handful of good 3D games from that era, and then underneath that there's a handful of like good 3D games from that era that are, what's the best way to put this? That are good games, and they're not good games because of their graphics, like Mario 64, the Ocarina of Time. They're kind of good games despite their graphics, but like here, the scene where the Valkyrie rises, it's just, it's really nice. The improvements in 2 and 3 up the stakes, and you know, it's one thing I'm going to keep harping on about them making this a 3-part series. Scenario 1 is just, you know, if I was to throw ranking numbers on these games, I gave Scenario 1 a 7, I give Scenario 2 an 8, I give Scenario 3 a 9. It gets better and better and better. Like, the problems with Scenario 1 and Scenario 2 are they do all this world building, but all I want to do in a Shining Force game is take my force and fight devils. If I wanted to fight political intrigue, that's what I do to play Fire Emblem. Because I find Fire Emblem games fall apart when they start to bring into like the devils and stuff. I'm like, oh. But this is what I want, and that's what I get. That's what we get in Scenario 3. We get the game we want. And Scenario 3 is wonderful. Scenario 3 really brought a joy and a fun to these games. That I wouldn't say was a souring approach, but an underwhelming approach. I'm at a loss for words right now. Knowing that this is the end. Well, it's not the end for us. Well, it's not the end for me. It's the end for a lot of people. But I still have Shining Force CD to play, which we will dive into. Which is also like, I have those Game Gear games to play. I think there's Final Conflict that we have to dive in and play. Aw. That's adorable. You just gotta take this in. Julian and Jane in the north. You guys need to wear some clothes. You are not dressed for this weather. Get a toque on, or a beanie, or whatever the slang is. You're losing all that heat through your hair. What is that the floating city? I'm not quite sure what that is. Though it is an airship and we have not seen many airships. I mean, we saw the airships, the floating city, whose name I can't recall at the moment. But it's been great to enjoy this journey with you guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting. And unfortunately, it's over now. Oh, welcome back, Julian. Please record a record for your adventure. I think this is just gonna be for the premium disc. Now, I don't think I'll be doing a playthrough of the premium disc. I might live stream it. I might do one video on it. I don't think I'm gonna be doing a whole playthrough of it. Just because there are other Shining Horse games I want to move on to. I'm glad you're back, Julian, but Master Gabriel has already... Huh? What's this? Oh, Faye, you mischievous. One of these days, I'm going to... Oh, if it isn't Julian, you finally returned triumphant. Thank Ebelsum. The world has been saved from evil. Oh, the fate of Jane and the others? Don't worry. Rest assured, everything turned out fine due to your efforts. Ah, about the Holy Ark? Well, there will be another opportunity. I don't know if I'll ever play Shining in the Holy Ark. If I'm still doing this in 10 years, maybe. You see, Master Gabriel couldn't ignore the world's crisis. He spent so much time traversing the world for a solution. I used to think he was just a sleepy old man, but I've really come to see him in a new light. Even so, Master Gabriel is exhausted from all of the unpredictable events. There were a lot of things he needed help with, so I'm tired as well. Hey, Master Gabriel... he's sleeping, isn't he? Even though Julian has returned. Master Gabriel... Hey, is it okay to let him sleep? Really? Okay then, I'll give your respects to Master Gabriel when he wakes up. I'm so very exhausted. So sorry, Julian, but I sleep. Aww. Wait, how can that be Jane? That was Primula. That's not Jane. How is that Jane? Doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Maybe that's not Jane. Maybe I'm just crazy. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me on this journey. I will probably try to do a Shining Force 3 review. I don't know if I will or not. I find review videos hard. Anyway, adios everyone. Thanks for taking the time.